So we have the phylum Chordata and the class Amphibian, and this is the anterior of the frog, the posterior of the dorsal, and the ventral. And in addition to the external, we have the skin, we have the head, the short neck, and the trunk. And then the head contains the mouth, the eyes, nasal, external nasal or nostrils, and the tympanum.
Okay, starting from the mouth, this is the tongue, and you're gonna go through the tongue to the esophagus, to the larynx, all the way down to the stomach, which is right here. And the stomach stores foods and mixes it with the enzyme to begin digestion. Going down, this would be starting of the small intestines. And if you continue on, you're going to go all the way down to the large intestines as well. And the intestines digest bacteria and reabsorbs water to form the feces of the body. And then it's going to exit through the cloaca. And the gallbladder. The liver secretes bile and processes digested food molecules. And the liver is the most prominent organ of the body cavity and has many functions. It metabolizes carbohydrates and fats and produces bile. And the gallbladder is a round pea green, which as you can see the red arteries. And the structure under the right lobe of the liver. It stores and concentrates bile secreted by the liver and delivers it to the duodenum through the common bile duct. And the bile functions in emulsification, digestion, and absorption of fat.
Okay, so we have not opened the frog up yet for the brain, but let me give you a glance over of the model. So this white part down here is the brainstem and the medulla, and those are responsible for controlling respirations and the heart rate. Now this pinkish part right here, this is the cerebellum, which aids balance, voluntary tasks, muscle coordination, and depth perception. And these this blue area is the optic lobe, and that's a sense of light, including the olfactory bulbs, which are used for smell. And this light part up here, this is the cerebrum, and this is all the sensations, all the movements, behavior, memory, and pain. And this dark yellow spot right back here is the pituitary gland. In addition to those external structures, we also have a sacral hump. We have its muscular jumping legs, its tympanic membrane, which is the eardrums, the outer eardrums. Its nares up in the interior. We have its webbed feet and its foreleg.
So this is the heart. This is the left atrium, the right atrium, and the ventricle of the heart. And these two veins and arteries sticking out are the truncus arterius. And in this structure, these are the three chambers of the heart. One carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs, and the other carries blood to the body. Okay, this is inside the heart, and this is the left atrium. And back here is the right atrium. And this is the branch of the truncus anterius. And these are the ventricles.
Which are
These are the ventricles, and these are the branches for the truncus arterius.
So now that it is open, I'm going back to the reproductive system. So this is obviously a female. We can tell because the ovaries are filled with these eggs that kind of look like a salt and pepper texture. And if it was a male, we would have a testy on each side. And if we look down here, we have this opening called a cloaca, and this is where the urine waste and the eggs and sperm will collect.
So the skin is also kept very moist because it's used as the lungs before the lungs are actually formed. If the frog does not get enough oxygen, it will actually suffocate the frog. And there's two layers, which is this outer layer is the epidermis, and the inner layer, which is the inner dermis. And the skin is used for respiration. It takes on oxygen from water through the skin, and the oxygen is in the water passes through the skin into the blood. And also have lungs. So the frog's skin is actually camouflage, and that is their adaptivity. So when they're running from predators, it's used as a defense mechanism to camouflage into the area around them, and it helps them conceal itself in plain sight. And the adaptation relies on the form of visual deception that allows the frog to hide from potential predators, and also
So these right here that I'm pointing at are the kidneys, and as you can see, our frog has the latex dye, which lets us see the veins and the arteries. And the kidneys are responsible for filtering blood and removing excess water. Or I'm sorry, excretes excess water. And from the uterus, I believe it is the uterus. They carry urine from the kidneys to this right here, which is a little bit oddly shaped, but this is the urinary bladder, and this collects and stores urine until it is ready to be released from the cloaca, which is right here. And I mentioned it before, the cloaca is an opening that urine, waste, eggs, and sperm are released from.
okay, so these are the lungs, and they add oxygen and remove the waste gas and carbon dioxide from the lungs. And they also appear to have a spongy texture as well. Frogs are actually not born with lungs. They actually grow. They slowly grow through their skin as their lungs, and the gills cover over to form the lungs.
Okay, so now we have the endocrine system, and this right here is the spleen. And the spleen is responsible for making, storing, and destroying blood cells. So these right here are fat bodies, and fat bodies are just masses of fat used for hibernation and for mating.